Hello and welcome to Start the Beat with Sykes. My name is Sykes and this is my podcast. Before we get started, I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank everyone who checked out the last episode. If you're one of those people, thanks so much for coming back. For those of you who are new to the show, welcome. Feel free to make yourselves at home. And as always, there's beer and soda in the fridge. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. Yeah. We're not on the camera at the same time. I forgot. Let's get it. There it is. Boom. All right. Tight. Make some noise for my friends. Salvage the Tongue. Woo!
Hi, guys. Hello.
Insert default applause here. Thank you guys for coming by on a gloomy Sunday afternoon.
It's a little dreary.
And thank you as well for bringing some of this Voodoo Brewing IPA. They do not sponsor the podcast, but hey,
they might.
Let me know. Let me know if I doubt anybody needs my help promoting their fucking brewery. So 2021 June, that's currently the time frame that we are in. An interesting time to be in a band. How has the past year been for the three of you?
It's been interesting. Obviously not playing any shows is a bummer. We were having some fun, and then that kind of came to an end.
Probably didn't see each other for.
Yeah. We did some of those those little Zoom meetings that were kind of fun. But we spent most of the time recording and having our new EP mixed and that type of stuff. So we really focused on that and trying to write some new stuff.
Cool.
While we're apart. So
so you guys did just recently put out an EP.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
The name of it, if I remember right, because I listened to it weeks ago, Waterlung.
Yes.
Nice.
Exactly.
Very cool. Very cool. I just want to say that it's rock. A lot of times people are really weird about genres of music. And how do the three of you land on this spectrum of like the subgenre hell that we live in nowadays?
It's almost impossible.
We just make fun of it.
We really do.
Honestly, the three of us we need to go to genre school, really.
We have no idea. Yeah,
it's dream pop.
It's like it's one of it because people are like, "Oh, you're in a band. What kind of music do you play?" And that's my least favorite question.
Sure,
I have no idea.
Totally, because like if you ask me what kind of music you guys do, I'm like it's rock.
Yeah. Right.
But then like Daughtry makes rock music, and you guys don't sound like fucking Daughtry, right? But it's like like when I think about you guys, it's like this band reminds me a lot of like Silver Sun Pickups, and but then that's another band that I'm like when somebody's like what are you listening to recently? I'm like, Silver Sun Pickups. So like, what do they sound like? I don't know. They're a rock band.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're like Daughtry? No, they're not.
They sound like Silver Sun Pickups.
Yeah.
I get it all the time, and I just tell people I'm like rock music, I guess indie rock music. It is what it is. I just tell people to listen.
Yeah,
you call it what you want. It's music.
It's just
what comes out.
To be honest with you, there's something that kind of sketches me out about people that don't have this mindset of like, well, we're just making music that we like and whatever it is.
Right.
Anytime I sit down in front of somebody, like, what kind of music are you doing? They're like, oh, it's like melodic, blackened thrash, hardcore. I'm like, you're putting yourself in way too much of a box to actually care about like writing interesting music.
Yeah, and that's really it's the whole writing process is just feel like it's just whatever comes out. We go from our influences, and then it just kind of it builds from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
like, that sounds good.
Yeah, I've been having this thought about like genres of music, and like when did people start deciding to like call music something outside of music? Like, this isn't just music anymore. Now this is blues, and like, this is rock, and this is pop.
Right.
Who decided?
At first, when it was all just kind of like.
Once it started becoming more diverse, and
it's like kind of I don't know. It's just too wide.
It's like crayons. Remember, there used to be like red, green, yellow, and now like like why is there a box of 125 crayons, and why is there like like periwinkle twinkle leaf color?
I love the fact that I got more crayons.
Yeah.
I don't need to label all.
And it started coming in with a sharpener too, so that's always an upgrade.
You know, why can't it just be like, you know, blue 1, blue 2, blue 3?
It would be easy.
Yeah. So we'll just say Salvage the Tongue is a rock 4 band.
Okay.
Rock number 4.
More rock 5.
Okay. All right. Now we're split.
We're on
rock.
all
right. 4.5. We won't keep it. We'll just keep it as simple as possible. 4.5. Right. So, what is the songwriting process like for the three of you guys?
I mean, so the way that we all
we want to start.
We need to yes, we need to start. It's right now. It's pretty focused on just me kind of coming up with stuff on an acoustic guitar, bringing it to these guys, and we build off of it.
Gotcha.
Even before the pandemic, like we've never been able to like get together enough, like
and consistently
really,
for a long enough time. I mean, we're all. I have a daughter. He has a couple kids. He's got a cat.
Yeah.
You know, you still got to feed cats, right? You feed your cat.
Sick.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Totally. I mean, dude.
Like just trying to get together. I mean, even like when we recorded it all ourselves at our practice space, and we share that building with many other bands.
Incredibly. If you actually know what to listen for, you can hear the band practicing next door on our EP.
Oh, nice.
Multiple times.
But you'll never hear it. But we'll be recording a song. And, you know, if I can't get a guitar part the first time, I'm trying it a couple times, and then the drums start next door.
Really sounding great, and then in the middle of a take, it's like someone's practicing cover band songs.
So we have to stop and wait, and like, okay, I think they're taking a break. We have 10 minutes. Let's try to nail this part, and that's how we did the whole thing.
Yeah.
So like, it became very difficult, but that's
why we described it as raw. And this is like, it is like
it's absolutely
good enough
raw.
Was the slogan of that EP.
Yeah, and that's something that we're really trying to just kind of move away from. We need to start taking our time on things and that kind of stuff. But I mean, it is what it is. I guess that's very salvage of us.
I mean, it's so hard as a band, especially as, you know, you're starting to get older and there's other things to start to take priority inevitably, but you still give a shit about the band.
Absolutely.
But there's only so much that you can do and only so much it's under your control.
Right.
So like, I always give all the credit in the world to like bands that it can at least just like get something out.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be anything that I like. It's just, I know how much fucking work it takes to like get together every week if you're lucky.
Yeah.
To be productive every week if you're lucky.
Right.
To get a song if you're lucky that you like enough to record. And like, you know, you guys were able to record it yourselves, but you still got to learn how to do that. Right. You got to acquire the equipment, which takes money, which means like, oh, maybe we don't practice this week because I got to fucking work an extra shift to buy this dumbass audio interface that we need or whatever the fuck it is. It's so much work.
My Sweetwater.
That's this guy. Yeah.
John Kramer, shout out to Sweetwater. He gets it done. Still tries to sell me expensive gear, which I'm like, dude, I bought every piece of Behringer gear you don't try and sell me art, whatever.
Right, yeah. No, Josh has definitely acquired a lot of equipment over the last few years. And it's
only done the records with it.
And the records there. Yeah. And that's the reason we haven't really done records is it like we don't have the time to get together to do that, which I think we're okay with. I think we're all right with doing that.
Put out like an EP every 5 years of being so we're on track for one.
We have 3. One of them is kind of good.
Well, it could be. I mean, it could be hard, you know, with all of the distractions and fuck the past year. I mean, really threw everybody for a curveball, especially my band. I play in a metal band called Greywalker, and you know, the past year for us was a total fucking nightmare because it's like, you know, we have people that have jobs and now people are working from home. Some people aren't working from home. Some kids in school, like, oh, our kid can go to school. Our kid can't go to school. Daycare, no daycare, like all of this chaotic shit, you know? And it's like, we're getting ready to put out an EP soon. And it's like, it's 4 songs. And it's like, oh, this is all we were able to accomplish. Like a buddy of mine that I was talking to, he's like, oh man, it's only 4 songs. That sucks. I'm like, you have no fucking idea how hard it was for us just to get that done. It was a fucking nightmare.
That goes along with what you were saying.
Total nightmare, man.
It's not as easy as people think. Like, it's not just getting in a room and turning on a microphone and playing the song that you wrote. Like,
songs are written for how, I wish that the magic really did just happen in the studio one night in the golden hours, but it's like, we sat on our songs. Some of those songs were written in like 2017.
Yeah. Sure. Track 2 I wrote about having a daughter who's 4 now. Yeah. So like just having my daughter, and she's 4 years old now, and it just came out. Yeah. So like this started 4 to 5 years ago. Yeah. Us writing
the songs that don't stick.
Yeah.
Wasting time on that, but I don't know. I'm sure with everything, you're a busy guy.
Yeah.
When you finally get in and just playing the songs through is like worth it.
Totally. I think that this situation that you guys have and that my band has, this is really normal for bands that are operating on the level that we're on. And I think that people should take comfort in that. Like this idea that I think it's okay to like be normal.
Yeah.
You don't have to have this it's like there's so much shit that's going on. And when we are getting together, we're having fun. And sometimes like when you're doing this underground art shit, like you get caught up in like the EP, we gotta get the EP out. It's gonna fucking change everything.
That's how we felt. So long until we were like,
it's gonna when it comes, it's gonna happen when it happens. It's
we were waiting for the mix for a long time. It was one of our friends that did it, and we were like, you take as much time as you want, which was probably not the complete right thing. It turned out great.
No, I mean, it's better than rushing it, which is something that we did before, where we would just like become like, I don't know, complacent and just like.
I mean, it was really fun. We like did an EP live.
Yeah.
And did it in a day, not even like 5 hours in the guy's basement.
We had studio. We had enough. We had a budget for studio time. We're like, we have this much money to spend, so we have this much time in the studio.
Yeah.
So day 1, we're gonna go in and we're gonna do all the songs, and then the next day we'll do vocals, and then we'll mix a little bit. So like we did it. We got it all done in one day. We came in the next day. I did some vocals, and then we had like an hour and a half to do mixing, and we're trying to do it real quick. And I'm like looking at the clock, and I'm like, we're gonna run out of money, and like it was this stressful thing, and it ended up not being.
It doesn't have to be this way.
Yeah, and we ended up being not getting exactly what we wanted because we were just stressing and trying to do it the right way. And now we can relax and hang out and have a few beers and treat practice and recording as like a time to see our friends, which is basically what it's become since we're so busy. Like hanging out at the space with these guys is like, that's my going to the bar on Friday night,
People in the band, it would be impossible.
Right. Just the timing of it, it would be very hard. But like if we make it work, we do all right, I guess.
It would probably be easier too if we were 9 to 5.
Right. Yeah. Like me working, like we practice at like 2 o'clock in the morning because I'm working. I work in restaurants and bars. So like I'm not getting out until late. He's doing the same thing for a long time. And it was like that where we would show up at like 11 o'clock, start practice, leave at like 2:30.
Yeah.
Like Megan calling me.
Yeah. Where you at? Swear we're at practice. Swear.
Here with the boys.
I think it's, important to not lose sight of that like thing where it's like, oh, this is more about like the band and the camaraderie and brothers and family and whatever other, thing you want to say about it. Because like that's the energy that you need to make like good, productive art.
Right.
If it's always stress and always anxiety, it's not gonna translate too well. You're not gonna get.
Not to come out.
Like, it's kind of. I mean, not to be like the cliche, it's a therapy, but like I treat adult league hockey. It's like, oh man, I get to get together.
Yeah,
well, that's
get to escape from it.
Yeah.
You're in your own world.
I don't expect to be getting. When we finally got this EP together, we sent it around to maybe like 3 people. Didn't hear back in like a week, and we were like, fuck it, let's put it out.
Just putting it out. Yeah. It's. We were going to try to get it picked up, but at this point, there was no.
Yeah, the interesting thing about promoting music these days with all of the social media bullshit. It's like nobody cares what anyone has to say about your music besides you.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like we're way past the days of needing to send shit to blogs and things like that. Yeah. Like, does anybody here read music blogs?
No,
absolutely not.
You know, like
when we first started the band, that was the
everyone,
thing. Yeah. Including myself, was like all over everything. Mm-hmm. You know, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
We don't do any of that.
Yeah.
But we're so old now that we don't know.
Well, that's the other thing too. It's like, that's the other thing too.
Tell us what to do. Please. We need help.
I mean, they definitely are. But the thing too is like, well, who is your audience? Like, who does Salvage the Tongue make music for? I'm gonna gesture to say maybe people that are in your similar age demographic that grew up listening to the same shit that you did.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know how old any of you guys are. I'm gonna say late 20s, early 30s, probably. Right. So what are a lot of late 20s, early 30s people doing? They're focused on their own shit. They're busy
and having kids.
So it's like you kind of have to like empathize with like, oh, our audience is just as busy as we are. Exactly. So what can we really expect? Yep. Not to be like a Debbie Downer, but it's like a really hard reality of it.
That was the thing. In our early 20s and stuff when we were playing in bands, it was tough. You know, like you'd always have those shows that a lot of people came to.
Right. Yeah.
And we had some tours and stuff that we got really good response, and like we saw our numbers jump up after that. But at this point, it's just nice.
I'm not at this point. I'm playing in this band for us.
Yeah.
You know, and for myself because it makes me feel good. Yeah. You know, I'm not expecting anything at all. Probably if you like it,
people
that's awesome.
Point that are just
we have some loyalists who have just are basically just our friends that have been there from the beginning and like the same kind of music that we like, so it works for them. But yeah, I'm not if you like the music, that's awesome. That's going to make me feel great. But at the end of the day, like, this is for us, you know, like this is our release. This is our chance to kind of, like I said, like he said, a little therapy session where we can get our feelings out, get some aggression out. He can beat the shit out of some drums and like.
If it wasn't with Salvage, it's always somewhere else. Like Ryan's playing in every band under the sun all the time.
Yeah, Ryan's got his own thing too, and so like we
plug it
in there. Get the Darger in there.
I'm good.
Oh no. Yeah, I mean it's always been fun, and it continues to be fun, so we're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah,
no matter what. No matter what.
I think that's maybe like the humbling thing of getting a little bit older and being given so much, being thrown so much at your way that you just can't control.
Yeah.
That you get to this point where like the band isn't the most important thing in the world anymore, and that's actually nice.
Yeah.
It's like better for the band.
Right. Yeah, when you start out, I feel like everybody, when they start out doing music, is like, we gotta get signed, we gotta make it big, I want to do nationwide tours, I want to do a world tour, I want to do this, I want to do that. And at this point, I'm like, dude, if somebody wants to sign us and like put our stuff out for free so we don't have to do that, that'd be really sick. But like, if not, whatever. I'm gonna put it on Facebook and we're gonna play some shows. So like,
so you can play the brewery every now and again.
Yeah, right. You're like, it's not about like when you start, it's about
like fun again at some point. You know?
Yeah. If you continuously make it seem like work, it will then become work, and nobody likes their job. So like that's gonna get old. So just show up and have a good time and do what you can. I'm no pressure. Like I'm sick of pressure, and it's just.
So here's the interesting question then, right? If we're very laxed and chill, like whatever's gonna happen with the band happens with the band.
Mm-hmm.
Why come on a podcast?
Because I do want people to hear it.
We're not that chill.
First, I think the last time we sat down and talked about our music was for Channel 4 News, which was fucking weird.
It was a while ago.
Was it with Trish?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, it was with Trish.
Trish is great, and with our buddy Ryan O'Shea. He's awesome as well.
Yes, you could fucking swear, by the way.
Fuck.
Weird.
Yeah, it was really strange.
Stuff like this.
Yeah, like I'm not good with cameras. I had to do a thing for my job.
We'd be great.
Gated.
Candid camera. I think we'd have some.
Yeah.
We make each other laugh.
Sure.
I'd be good on like an Impractical Jokers show where I'm supposed to make an ass of myself. I'd be good with that. But when I'm not supposed to make an ass of myself, that it's a problem. I was on camera for something for work not too long ago where I had to make a drink, and I hated it. And Jake was there, and Jake was like, "Man, like you're in a band, like you should be able to do this." And I'm like, "I could stand in front of people and sing. I mean, that terrifies me, but I just close my eyes and I'm good. But like, I gotta look at this camera and make it." And I didn't like it at all. So cameras are not my thing. So this is really awkward.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's probably I feel a lot more comfortable around people that aren't comfortable in front of cameras. That kind of goes back to like my style of music is this very specific thing. Yeah. People that are, I don't know. It's the whole social aspect of music is like really something that I struggle with a lot, which seems silly because I have this podcast and I'm around, right?
Right.
But like I got into music because it was this kind of thing that I could do in the shadows, and then I could play a show and people would see me there, but they don't really know who I am, and I'm almost like a caricature of myself on stage to a degree. What's easy to do, but now it's really hard. Where if you want people to hear your music, you got to like talk about it a lot because we only have a few outlets, whether it's an Instagram or a Facebook or TikTok or whatever. But that's the same place that like Coca-Cola is promoting their new sparkling water, or Sarah's promoting her yoga classes or whatever. It's like
it's hard to find the place to do it, and like especially recently, like that's one of the reasons we didn't. I mean, there's just so much else going on that's more important, and like it's kind of hard to be like, okay, well, also listen to this.
I haven't worked in a year, but like we have T-shirts for sale still.
Exactly. Yeah, totally.
Totally. Put it out earlier, and then just as shitty as it is and everything, it was like George Floyd happened.
Yeah.
Everything started heating up essentially, and we were like, our voice is not what's needed right now.
Right.
So
Totally.
We just sat on it for another like however long, almost a year. You know, it never seemed like the right time. And like even like a week after we put our stuff out, we were like, whatever. It's kind of just weird and tough. Like, where do you fit in the void of the internet and in the what do you deserve to take up in the consumption of people that is, I mean, hopefully it would be there's the few people that would find like this a good escape or whatever listening to our music or whatever else, but
people could see it as selfish and things like that, and you don't want to come across that way.
Do we even need to take up? There's so much going on, and there's no other way to pretty much promote other than the internet now for bands.
I mean, I don't know what are you going to post a flyer?
Yeah, I mean,
shit.
Listen to our EP.
Yeah, we'll get a sign. Ryan can spin signs.
I don't want to do that
anymore. You don't want to do it anymore?
What do you want to take up in that space, So it's like a weird dynamic.
Yeah, it's been a really weird last couple of years. Just trying to do all this and balance life and balance everything that's going on socially. It's pretty rough.
And I think that, as much as it doesn't seem or feel like people are exhausted with social media, I don't think I've ever talked to anybody that's like, yeah, I'm really into this.
Right.
Like everybody kind of seems over it, but we're all somewhat addicted to it in one way or another.
It's a time killer.
And I think that whenever shows finally come back, that's going to be hopefully something powerful enough for people in our line of work to fucking connect with other people that are also I just want to get out of the house and connect with something on a face-to-face sort of way, which is what music always should have been, and what I think what made it so cool, or live music in general to begin with. But we kind of lost the plot a few years ago. It just got a lot of static.
I mean, you try to see a show and you can't see through a cell phone.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm sure you remember growing up.
Yeah, totally.
And there was not one damn cell phone because they didn't exist yet. And
it's so weird.
Like even that, like old man yelling at a child about cell phones. But
no, I mean, but
I feel like it. Not to be like the guy that's it's taken for granted, but I see. So I've been lucky enough to work like a few shows coming back, like drive-in shows and stuff like that, and just seeing it just feels a little different. Like people are actually kind of there, and I don't know.
It's interesting, just like finding a way to like get people invested in the moment, and you know, I have people in my life. Not gonna say any names, but people in my life where it's like, oh, hey, did you see this thing that was posted, or did you see that so and so is doing this? And they're like, no, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
But we go out to eat, and it's like the first 10 minutes that we're eating our food, they're taking pictures of their fucking food and posting it. I'm half done with my fucking food, and it's wait, you're on your phone all the time. Sure. You're on your phone all the time. But how are you not seeing what other people are posting? And it's like, oh, well, that's part of the problem. So many people are on their phone and they're just putting their shit out there.
Right.
They're not actually engaging with what's coming in. And it's like,
they're just
in the long run, what are we doing here? Yeah. What is going on? Yeah. We have too much access.
I almost wish I could be that way sometimes though, because I'm the person that doesn't post.
Yeah.
I feel like we're the band that doesn't post.
We are. We are officially the worst band at social media.
If anyone wants to,
the worst. Take over. Yeah, if anyone wants to be a social media like manager for free, that's a very important part. Dude, actually, I can give you some beer. But if you want to be our social media manager for a beer, that's totally cool. You go ahead and do that. It's one beer. I just want to let you. It's one beer, one time. You don't get any more.
You'll get the second half of this.
Yeah,
voodoo.
We'll save it for you.
We'll save it for you. So I find that like the thing with social media and bands and promotion is it's real easy for us to be convinced that we need to post a lot more. Why'd the camera turn off? What's that about?
Ruh-roh.
Oh. Did it die?
It's alive.
What's happening? Let's find out.
This is the beginning of a B movie.
Well, since you told me, can I use your bathroom?
Since you told me.
Go through the kitchen.
I just saw
Make a left.
Right?
Turn right at the Anthrax poster.
I'm so stoked.
I had some
ideas. Totally.
Oh my god.
I love your Akira figures, by the way.
Oh, thanks, man.
We just love all your stuff.
We love all
tell you how much we love your stuff.
I'm gonna grab a couple brews.
Yeah, do you mind if I have one?
Not at all, dude.
Cool, thank you. Right on.
I'm Madeline. Say something, dude.
Yeah, plug your stuff.
I knew you wouldn't. It was a joke. I knew you weren't gonna do that.
No, I'm good.
No, I'm good. Very tight. Very cool. Yeah. Yes. No curve. You're no Patrick Swayze, but I'll give you a curve. So.
Listen. That's a life-size poster.
I always wanted to name. I always wanted to name a song though.
Oh, thank you kindly.
Look at that.
Pineapple from
Chris
House.
Yeah.
And my friends that opened up that necromancer place. I got some of their stuff.
Oh,
okay.
Your friends? Really?
Yeah.
That's freaking cool.
Yeah, just go ahead, grip them all up. What are you doing?
Warren, the head brewer, and Mike, the assistant.
Oh, that's really cool.
It's very cool.
I love Grist. I used to live in Millville.
Nice.
Laissez-faire, that's our entire band. It's great.
Here. I didn't figure out why this camera didn't turn on.
Oh, yes.
Let's see. Is it not?
I can taste the zest.
Taste the zest.
Yeah, dude. It's got orange zest.
Yeah, that beer's pretty good, man.
It's very good.
Can I have a little sip of it?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, friend.
Just kidding. There you go. I'm sorry.
Fucking donk. What a donk.
A power donk, dude.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, there's a choose your own adventure, bro.
Ooh.
This has a skull on it.
Okay, fifth grader deciding what skateboard to have.
This has a skull on it.
I need to phone a friend to figure out what...
All right, so we're still recording. I figured out the camera issue for now. Who knows? Maybe it'll turn off again. Don't quite know.
Sour ale with blackberry and marshmallow.
Have you ever had any stuff from Evergreen? They're in Camp Hill, right outside of Hershey.
Okay.
Really, really cool guys. They do really, really good weird stuff.
That's sick. Oh, this is very sick. I'm gonna drink that.
Are you drinking?
Yeah, Necromancer. They're new. They're out Babcock Boulevard. It's like 10 minutes from here.
I'm like, I like piss beer.
Yeah, totally.
I like Banquet.
Yeah. Hey, man.
I mean, I like Banquet.
Jenny Cream's probably in my top 5.
Yes.
Jenny. Wow. Jenny's good.
What were we drinking for a while? Extra gold.
Yeah.
We were doing extra gold.
Extra gold's bottom of the barrel Banquet.
We love hams. Our goal is we need to get sponsored by hams.
Can't fuck with it. High Life in a bottle. Can't fuck with it. It's good. It's good beers.
Champagne.
And they respect my wallet.
Yeah, the hams you get 12 pack.
You know what's funny too, and maybe since you work at Voodoo, you can attest to this. I don't know if you know any of the brewers there, but I know a lot of brewers from my life for random reasons. But pretty much every brewer that I know loves shit beer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it's easy to drink.
Yeah,
it just goes down.
It's just.
I like shit beer.
It's like the equivalent of like I'm in a death metal band, but I listen to Bjork all the time. Right. I'm not saying that Bjork is a shit band. It's like the opposite of what you would expect, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Still Scandinavian.
Yeah.
We'd sound a lot more like Jason Isbell if we actually played what we would.
Oh my god!
It actually would be some weird pop punk Jason Isbell.
It would be very weird.
Ryan just come into the mix.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Ryan fucks everything up, man.
My bad.
That's one thing you'll know about Ryan.
Aging punk.
He just loves to fuck things up.
Make fun of me.
You know,
choke up in Jason Isbell.
I would listen to that.
I know. I was playing that.
You know, before our sidetrack, we were having a discussion about. Oh, the camera died again.
Rip.
Is it? Oh.
It's not dying. I'm not sure if it's overheating. I don't know what the situation is there. Fuck it. Don't need to see me anyways. It's you guys. So we were having this discussion about social media. I don't know if it was even important. We were just like
sure it was.
Old people complaining about social media.
Yeah, basically.
It's so hard to get popular on social media.
I just don't have time to post on Twitter every day. I don't have anything to say.
I know. I remember what I was going to bring up. We were talking about being a band that's bad on social media.
Right, yes.
And I think that honestly, it's fine to be bad at social media. You should be the change that you wish to see in the world. Only post when you have something worth talking about.
Yeah,
I think that's
where we're at.
I think that's the problem. We post when we have nothing to do. It's just like a picture of like a foot. It's like we're practicing.
I'm taking, my morning routine.
Taking my morning routine.
I'm thinking about how all these bands. I'm already reading their posts.
Oh, that's where we went with it.
And I'm like, oh Jesus, we are bad. We are bad at doing the whole social media.
We are. We're bad at it, but it is what it is.
That's why we come on to the podcast.
Mm-hmm. I could talk to you all day. I have nothing to type. I think I'm lazy. I think that's it. I just don't. My thumbs don't want to do it. I need to save the energy in my thumbs for my PlayStation. I don't want to type out Twitter.
Wow. The interesting thing is, let me straighten out this camera. I found this webcam still works, but we gotta fix this up a bit here.
This is very MySpace.
That's fine. That's
fine.
It's gone straight to my Zanga.
Why do I care? Why do I care about this?
Zanga.
Dude.
Plug something.
Oh man, I think I'm 15 years too late.
No, we're okay. So, all right, what the fuck was I saying? Oh, so I think that whether we realize it or not, because of how much we've been using social media over the past decade, we're like innately trained to like see when something is like forced, like, oh, like this is some bullshit that people were posting. Yeah. So if like you're a band that's like just desperately trying to post content and repost things and wonder why nobody's engaging with it. It's because people just don't care. And sometimes it's also not that special. Like, oh wow, you're a band and you're at practice. Like that's what you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
Who cares?
Exactly.
And it's
that's
like,
what we do.
That's all we do. That's all we know.
Uninteresting social medias.
Yeah,
that might be our like.
And like
award is like having the worst.
Maybe maybe we just start posting about our actual personal lives. Like, Margot shit her pants today at school.
Like, my kid learned the word cigarette.
You know, that's an interesting point because you'll get a lot of people that are like,
"Why are you laughing? It's a serious problem."
Well, you get like all of these fucking people, right? That bands, sometimes you'll get caught in this like the algorithm's holding us back, and that's why nobody's liking our stuff. But at the same time, you might post a picture of your kid or your cat, and like it gets a billion likes, right?
Likes,
because it's a genuine post, and people like it. And I don't think it's so much that people are like there's some demon algorithm that's blocking your posts. It's just that nobody cares about you at band practice. Nobody cares about the show flyer. Like, oh wow, you're a band playing a show. That's what bands do, right?
Yeah. You told me you were in a band 10 years ago, dude. I remember that.
And so, you know, I guess the takeaway is that we need to train our children and pets to promote the band.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
all
it.
I do.
He solved it.
That's why I learned cigarette. That's all we do.
Honestly, I think one of the best, I could be completely wrong, it might have got 2 likes, which would be pretty good for Salvage The Tongue.
Yeah, that's pretty.
But it was like a onesie picture of his daughter when it was first born in like a Salvage The Tongue onesie. It did pretty well.
It did all right.
It
did okay. And then we didn't post on social media for another year and a half.
I think our next post was like, can we use your bass guitar?
And I am once again asking you for a bass guitar.
Yeah. To go back to a question you asked earlier, I don't know why we're on a podcast. We just come hang out.
I was like, well, we need to promote this, and we're bad at social media. What's something we could do? Well, I see this podcast all the time, and maybe we could try to get on that. And
well, no, I mean, honestly, like I really enjoy talking to people like you guys because this is like so much. I'm always hesitant sometimes about people I don't know hitting me up to come on the show because like a lot of times like I have had some very awkward conversations with people that have this agenda that think that they're like something that they are just clearly not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, you know, I mean, I'm just a guy with a microphone, but I've been doing this for like we're almost at 400 episodes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ding dong conversations. And like it's really easy to kind of suss out somebody that is just like full of shit.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's like I almost would rather talk to the band. It's like I have no idea what we're doing because like that's what's real. It's like everybody that I know that's in bands.
Yeah.
Like at least the ones that I enjoy being around. They're also like, I don't fucking know, man. Let's just
genuine either of those people that are, I don't know. Through work and stuff, I've seen a lot of people. The agenda, you know, and
it's a lot of
I respect
pretentiousness.
it at the same time, like it's work. Like no matter what way you look at it, if that's your work, that's your work, and like the whole idea of selling out of this, that. If we could sign a huge deal, we'd be honest.
Yeah. Well, I'm all for it.
So I don't like judge anything, but it is kind of refreshing to meet someone that is just genuine.
Sure. And dude, it's like, you know, I've had people on the show that are, you know, that tour the world, that are signed artists. That are also like, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, sure.
And I've had people that think they have every single fucking thing figured out and they're still getting 2 likes on their Facebook posts. I feel like the agenda or having this plan has nothing to do with the grand scheme of things. I think it's more about like, oh, do we have if we're going to talk business, is this a product that people give a shit about? Right. It's like, it doesn't matter how good of a plan if you have. If your music sucks, then it just sucks. Or if like you're a terrible person to talk to, nobody's going to want to do business with you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't think that there's any like secret code to like figuring this out. It's either people are going to connect with the art that you make or they're not. And that's 1000% out of your control.
Yeah, sure.
And you can like maybe like fabricate your art to the likings of people and hopes for success, but then you have to like that's like, well, then you're wearing a Halloween costume 24/7,
and then it's not, it becomes, if you're not doing, like, if you're changing yourself, you're changing your sound, like I said, for other people, it's not going to be fun.
No, what's the point of doing
it becomes work, and nobody likes their job. Like I said before, like, it's just like I said before, we come in and we have fun, and that's what it's all about. And it comes out naturally.
Yeah.
It's not forced. It's not, oh, we're going to write this post-hardcore record and it has to be in this lane.
Like if we could, we would.
Write a post-hardcore record.
But if we could, it would.
What kind of post-hardcore?
But then it would still be. It would still be coming. It would still be coming naturally, though. If we could do it, it would still be coming naturally. Maybe.
Stop.
I feel like it's really funny right now because this camera has froze. And this camera doesn't work.
I love Ryan's face. Oh.
The internet. Where is it? The internet just really doesn't want to see me today. Let's. Yeah. All right. So that's the thumbnail for the episode.
Yo, you look like a straight up murderer.
I am a murderer.
You're looking at like,
hold on.
How can I eat him?
But I'm pretty sure the camera's like, that's it. They don't know what to say.
They're done.
Well, no.
Thanks for coming out.
The only camera that's working is the one pointed at you. All right. Okay. So we'll see how long. We'll see how long this. We'll see how long this sticks around. But back to our genre conversation at the beginning of this. I feel like post-hardcore is one of my least favorite descriptions for a subgenre because it is.
What does it mean?
It encompasses
entirely
too much.
Post, like,
Listen.
We describe ourselves as like post rock because we don't know what we're talking about. Like once upon a time,
I know
and
what
someone
post
was
rock
like,
is.
"You're not post rock. You have vocals." And I was like, "Okay,
what? I didn't realize. I'm sorry.
I really don't know.
We don't know what we're doing.
Post hardcore could be like Quicksand, or it could be like Underoath. It's just
that's
I know
it's horseshit.
of those bands.
Well, it's hard. The thing that's hard too about it is because even the term hardcore got so split and chopped up.
That's not metal, that's hardcore. Dude.
But then here's the problem, though. If we really want to dissect this, right?
Oh boy.
Oh, he's great.
So when we talk about,
I'm the driver, dude.
when we talk about post-hardcore or hardcore, right? There's that conversation of like earlier where I'm like, I'm annoyed by subgenres and having too many subgenres. Yeah. But a term like post-hardcore annoys me because I feel like it encompasses way too much and things should be split up. So now it's like a hypocritical thing of me.
Exactly.
You know, so
it's all rock.
It's
just all rock.
Yeah.
No, but at the same time, come on. I don't want my post-hardcore radio is a mess.
It's a train wreck.
Sure. You have like, you have everything from Fugazi to the Blood Brothers on it. It's like, this is just way too much.
They're essentially the same thing.
Which is essentially.
Piano Island was a B-side on 13 Seconds. It's a fact.
I'm not going to talk shit on either of those bands.
Blood Brothers is still doing it.
You better not talk shit on Fugazi, dude.
Isn't Blood Brothers Rocky Bottolato's brother?
I believe so.
Rocky Bottolato is sick.
Rocky is sick. But yeah, Blood.
You're talking about Rocky Bottolato, now Quicksand.
We should talk about anything but Salvage The Tongue.
Yeah. So, our man, we basically just said our band doesn't matter this entire fucking podcast. We came out here to promote our band and completely deterred anybody from listening to our band.
Hardcore, great.
Sorry, everybody. Congratulations.
So, what is the future for Salvage The Tongue? What are you guys doing right now?
We are writing.
Have you improved that writing process yet? We were talking about it earlier.
A little bit. Yeah, honestly. I mean, it still kind of started out the same way, but instead of it being like me kind of having I've kind of, I don't want to say loosen the reins because I was never
with acoustic songs, and we would then build a song.
What
he wrote, and now we're kind of just building it.
I mean, I'm coming with riffs and verses instead of full songs where I'm like, this is what it is. Like I would never say. I don't think I was ever.
No, you've never been like.
I don't think I've ever been a control freak where I was like.
Well, actually, a little on the opposite side where you're like, no, that whatever works.
Yeah, but I never wanted to be that. I never wanted to be that dude that was like, this is my song. This is what I want it to sound like. Like, yeah, I can do that when I'm by myself. But like when there's other people in a band, it's a band. Like, if there's one person doing it, it's no longer a band. It's Addison Steele featuring Josh Marshall and Ryan Footer. Like it's not third. Yeah, you're third.
Do you
R alphabetical, dude? Learn the ABCs. Sorry.
Do you find that having that that sort of relaxed control was maybe what was making it hard to finish songs? Maybe not having somebody that's like, this is going to be the part.
Possibly. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, sure. That.
Yeah,
well, he and I joined another band, and songs are getting done like crazy because Addison has no control and he just plays.
Which I love. I am so excited to play in a band where I just show up and turn my pedals on and stand there and play
your parts make the songs at the same point.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna sit there and be like me. I
think if we could nail down this writing process, Salvage the Tongue could be a rock and roll band for a good long time.
I don't think we're going anywhere. I think we have way too much fun and we like too much beer.
It's scheduled.
Guys, check it out. 5 years from now, we'll have
release date and everything.
5 more songs for you.
SoundCloud plus.
Well, I would say, one of the things that I think is really important for the productivity of bands is the ability to self-demo, which you guys have now.
Sure.
Have you noticed that has made any sort of a difference? Are you like actually recording any of this stuff that you're working on?
Yes, and you get sick of the songs a lot quicker.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
I feel like I feel like you get sick of the songs a lot quicker, but there's a lot more that you hear whenever you hear them back repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly. So I think that in turn has made the writing process a lot better.
But
yeah.
I think it helps, but goddamn sick of these songs.
I think for me doing the demos, it kind of hurt me because we did it. Like the new song, because we did it and we laid it down, and then I was like, on to the next one. Mm-hmm. And I forget things. Like we record like I can't remember. We have a new song that we laid down, but like I forget things. Like we lay stuff down at practice, and then I stop playing it.
Are you saying that like you're forgetting it because it's just getting like put to the computer, and then you're not like,
and then it's kind of lost in the it's like oh, we have it, that's what it's going to sound like, and I stop working on it.
I think that the thing that has helped me with my bands in terms of demoing is really just using it to figure out the structures of songs.
Okay.
Because I think like what kills morale for bands that I've been in is like playing the same parts over and over again, and like, well, what if we made the chorus twice as long, or what if we put it before that third part in the song, and every single person in the band has a different idea of what the third part in the song is.
Yeah.
So like all of that sort of shit, right? Like you can cut through all of that bullshit and like, okay, what are all of the parts that we have? Demo the parts, put them on your timeline, and like, okay, let's get the structure and then learn the song from there.
Sure. That's
I think
he's writing notes right now.
Yeah, he's on to something.
We get to that point too where the most recent one was the first one that we really did change. Like normally, excuse me, he'll bring us a completed song, and we have 2 or 3 songs right now that we're gonna move forward with, and probably 2 or 3 that are like maybe
just on the fence. Yeah.
And that in and of itself is another thing. Like we've just like almost never left songs off in the past.
Right. We've never really cut stuff.
You don't write enough to leave anything.
Well, sure, you don't want to throw your kid in the trash.
Yeah. Ryan.
No, I'm taking notes. That's great.
I once watched you throw Ava in the trash.
You can cut that, right?
We put her in the trash, gave her a noogie, flushed her down the toilet. She came back.
Kids love that.
She's all right.
She was back by fire.
She got out.
Kids got legs sometimes.
Resiliency. Those kids of yours.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man. I think that there's no right or wrong way for a band to compose stuff, and I don't know. That's just stuff that has helped me, and I'm just throwing it in your laps. Feel free to do with it as you wish.
That's
the other thing really too that I will say is when you are demoing stuff, don't over listen to it. Yeah. Don't over mix it. It's really easy to like
not the over mixing, but the over
listening. Sure. Yeah, like it's.
I think a lot of our songs come together like in 1 or 2 nights because that's what we're kind of always been conditioned and forced to do. Mm-hmm. And as bad as it sounds, you almost forget them, and then you're relying on the demos to like relearn them before like 3 or 4 weeks go by. And
sure.
And you're like, I don't even remember how to play this.
Yeah,
and.
He's talking about me. That's me that does that. I'm the only one, I'm pretty sure.
You're the only one.
You don't notice it from him because...
You're the only one.
Because he doesn't say anything. He just keeps playing the wrong shit.
This is the first time.
He's like, I don't
know. We went very different directions.
I think that... that camera died again. And that one's still frozen on that, so... Fuck it. So I think that what is I completely forgot the point that I was even going to make.
Oh no!
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
We were talking about recording, demoing, not listening to stuff too much.
Yes.
Every band that I've been in has been like this, where I have a very specific way of writing songs that I just mentioned to you guys, and I do this with all of my bands now. And it's really normal for everybody to forget parts and have to relearn them. But keeping in mind that the schedule that we're on, we don't have the luxury of like being in full-time bands where it's like we get to practice every other night of the week, or we're on the fucking road and like we're playing these songs all the time. So it's just kind of like a side effect of the condition of reality.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't like let that like deter you too much, because it's gonna happen. Or don't feel bad because I don't remember how to play something.
It's frustrating.
It's natural.
I'll be on the road with bands that somehow like 2 weeks into a tour they're still figuring out parts, and it makes me feel a little better.
Yeah.
I'm like, And I mean, nothing even wrong with that. It's just,
dude. I remember.
I feel fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is anybody at this table into Dillinger Escape Plan?
Sure.
Okay.
So what you want to talk about?
What's going on?
So I went up to their final shows in New York when they did like Mike Patton. They did the Ironies of Dead Scene. Really cool to see that. But it was very obvious that it wasn't rehearsed. And I just didn't even care.
They never even played when that came out, they never played a show together, right? Or something.
I think they may have played like something, but it wasn't an extended period. But it was very under-rehearsed.
Yeah.
But it was fine. And I guess the note that I'm the thing that I'm taking from that is like sometimes like as long as you're entertaining, it doesn't have to be perfect.
Right.
And there's a luxury of being a band who's like nobody knows your music. If you fuck something up, or if you skip a verse, or you have to repeat a verse because you don't remember the second verse, like nobody's gonna fucking know.
Yeah. We used to get hung up on, even on this past EP, we were hung up on like
making it sound.
We can't do anything on this record that we're not gonna be able to do live.
Right.
Okay.
And, like, we got super hung up on that, and then actually the guy who mixed and mastered it, Nathan, he plays in a band called All Get Out. I've toured with them a couple of times with other bands on the package, but they've been on the run. And they're amazing every night, and they don't sound like the record.
Yeah.
Like it's completely different. I think that moving forward, that's something that we're definitely gonna want to do.
Absolutely.
Like, add a little synth.
I don't know why it always felt. It always felt.
Cheating.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's not true, but like at the same time when we were doing it, it's like I want this to and I think it has a lot to do with the fact that we feel more comfortable live. We think that our sound is better live because we've never had a really good recording. So we always tried to get like we need to portray exactly what we're going to sound like live because we feel comfortable and are really proud of how we feel when we play live. So we always tried to make that happen, and it's really not necessarily possible to make. It would just sound empty as a 3-piece. So like,
why do you need to sound
exactly? Exactly.
Yeah, I think that modern music listeners listen to music for different reasons that they do for going to a live show.
Yeah.
And like sometimes if I'm listening to a studio album, like maybe it's just because I record music. I don't know what it is. Like I like hearing all of this ridiculous production sometimes. Okay. But I also enjoy hearing a music where it's like, or hearing an album where this just sounds like a room full of motherfuckers like raw, ripping it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And I think like sometimes that also depends on the style of music.
Yeah.
Sure. You know, like I don't want to hear, you know, like love the Descendants, one of my favorite fucking bands of all time.
Sure.
But I feel like their new stuff, it's like it's so
too much
clean.
It's polished.
Yeah. It's very clean.
It's very overproduced.
And I get what this sounds like. I get why, but it's like you guys, it's like I don't know if people that are listening to the Descendants want to hear the Descendants sounding this squeaky clean. There's like a weird off.
Put them on the track of like a Green Day.
But they also might be trying to build a new audience.
But those are also still like two very different bands. Like Green Day is a band that, you know, I think a lot of like old school turds like me, like speaking of turds, like the first CD I ever bought was Dookie. Right? That's the first CD I ever bought with my own money. And, you know, I think that I like hold Green Day in this box of like 39 Smooth, Kerplunk, Dookie. That's Green Day.
Yes,
but that's
is Green.
That's
Day. It is Green. You're not wrong.
That's such a small portion of like their lifespan as a band, though. And whether you like it or not, they evolved into this multi-layered studio stadium rock fucking band. And like, you know, but the Descendants didn't. So I don't need to hear Descendants of Green Day production.
Stick with what,
But I mean, like,
but what I'm saying is that was probably their way of looking at it. Is like, how do we step into this next tier of like? I mean, if you think that it's not, it's all about money, and if you think that it's not.
You're wrong. Well, also, you still have Epitaph still putting out their records, and let's take a look at the bands that Epitaph has put out over the past decade.
I mean, Brett Gurewitz has his own sort of agenda, and I'm not going to get into that. But Bill Stevenson could play the same record live, and it would sound the exact same on a studio record.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I'm going to say about the Descendants, because Bill Stevenson's one of the best drummers of all time.
Yeah, I fucking
all time. No, he's a fantastic drummer.
No, I saw them whenever they played. I saw them whenever they played the Roxy, and it was a rad show. And it's just like I wish that like this energy could be translated to a studio recording. But we've had it happen with Grey Walker. The first album that we did, we recorded it all not like live in a room together, but you know. Everything mic'd, every drum mic'd, every guitar cab mic'd, no triggers, sound replacement, which is very common in modern metal, and I understand why. And like we had people that said that it sounded cheap. It just sounded like a fucking metalcore record from the late 90s, early 2000s, because like that's the shit that we grew up on, and that was what we were trying to emulate. Right. It sounded exactly like that. But when if we're getting put on like these fucking Spotify playlists in the middle of all of this fucking other stuff that's basically electronic music. So much metal is electronic music now. It's like we're of course what we're doing is gonna sound weird because we're not like mastering it so it's like 1,000 decibels too loud, and we're not recording everything into a fucking computer.
You're not getting those 808s.
Yeah, and it's like fuck.
It feels. Yeah, like sometimes when you take shit out of the box and actually try to do something. I mean, and we're definitely, none of us are like, analog, digital sucks. Like, a lot of people just don't love it.
Yeah, I think that just
they say it sounds cheap or, you know.
Yeah, I think that it's just people abuse it. In terms on both sides, because I've definitely heard people that like go out of their way like, oh, you know, there's a studio in Pittsburgh that I'm not going to mention, but they're popular because they have like very fancy equipment that a lot of famous people have recorded on, and that's super fucking cool.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Everything that I've heard from them sounds kind of like dog shit. Like, it's not great. It's pretty lifeless recording. That's all like, so like somewhat analog and traditional and things like that.
Very good friends of mine that I will not say either. You don't know who. They're one of my employers. Their records. Oh man, there's probably $400,000-$500,000 worth of gear.
Sure. Sure. It's like, just because you have that old gear doesn't mean it's going to be good. But also, then you take somebody like fucking like a Billie Eilish and her brother that recorded like a really great sounding pop record in a fucking bedroom.
I truly fucking hate that argument. The whole like analog, like, oh, if it's not recorded on a Neve, I ain't going.
Yeah.
I never understood that. Like, does it pass the ear test? How's it sound?
Southern.
I don't know.
Yeah, you turned very Southern.
I guess, it really just comes down to intention. And that's almost more like that authenticity conversation that we were having before, that people, like, when they're scrolling through their social media, they could tell if something's authentic or not. I feel like I could tell if, like, oh, we recorded this with intent, or if we, whatever. Like, when I hear that Descendants stuff, I'm like, oh, it was like, show up this day, this time, record the songs, and they're like, whatever. Why do we care? Why the fuck do we care?
Well, we'll just going to work to record the new Descendants record.
Because you know damn well
he got Southern again.
all of those dudes have a million other more important things to do than still be playing Descendants songs live.
I mean, I think it translates regardless of what sort of platform you use or like how you go about it. It translates well enough that you know if something's inorganic or if it's forced. Yeah. And I feel like you can get the same sort of synthetic feel from an analog record that you can from a digital one.
Yeah, there's plenty of records, classic rock, 80s stuff especially. Those were recorded without Pro Tools, my friends, and they sound really, really bad.
Yeah.
And then on the flip, whenever we talk about like modern metal production, I'm like, what version of Pro Tools did Megadeth record Rust in Peace on? You know what I mean? Like, it's like one of the best fucking sounding metal records of all time, and you're gonna fucking like come at me about our stuff sounding cheap. It's kills me, dude.
Yeah, Hangar 18 just like, they could have used that. They could have used that plug in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Imagine someone coming to us and being like, your record sounds cheap. I would just start laughing.
It is fucking cheap.
We were on a budget, brother.
It is fucking cheap. Can you give me a pat on the back, please?
That's one of the things that I think is kind of nice about, I guess, like, for lack of a specific subgenre, the indie rock sort of sphere that your band exists in, I think people are more open to the ideas of recordings just sounding like a room of people playing music, right?
Yeah. Sure.
There's like this elitism in like heavy metal where it's like, everybody's so focused on like tone and production, and like I get nerdy about that stuff too, but if a good record's a good record, like I really don't care how it sounds. Like there's
I would love to have the gear at my fingertips that is amazing gear and that you can like, I don't know. It also comes down to who's engineering this shit.
Yeah, you could have the best gear in the world. You have a shitty engineer, it doesn't matter.
Gear in the world,
yeah.
I could have the best gear in the world. I'm not going to make it sound good because I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, sure. I mean, like,
like I have the wrong idea of what you. I don't know. It's kind of sick that everything is so accessible right now. Because if it weren't, we wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, we wouldn't exist.
If we weren't able to go by, like, we have 16 channels available to at our practice space.
We didn't have that.
We used to get it done with 2 channels.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have 16. Oh my God, for a few $100,
Yeah.
And that's not accessible to everyone, but luckily we have it and we're able to do it. Like, I can only imagine if we had more.
Yeah.
But
But I mean, with 16 channels, we put out an EP that we're extremely proud of.
I honest to God don't think that our shit would sound much different if we did have it. That's just the nature of us. And
it's how we sound.
You could go, like you said, you didn't, no triggers, no this, that. Like, you could go trigger that record and make it sound better, but how would you feel about it?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I mean, you know, moving forward, you know, that was our first album. We've definitely adopted more modern techniques. I still think that the stuff we're getting ready to put out a new thing really soon. I guess it's been announced by the time this podcast comes out. But you know, it's just like finding that way to embrace modern technologies, but like don't abuse it in a way where it's like you're cheating the system. You know what I mean? Like, oh, cool. Like you have a way to make these drums cut through the mix in a way that's really intense. I'm into that. You know, like, okay, cool. Like, let's not like 100% sound replace drums. Okay, if you want to trigger something, can we do like a blend? Can we focus on miking the drums correctly?
Sure.
You know, like there's things that you can do that's studio stuff that's fun and embracing the evolution of technology.
That's honestly the majority of the fun of it.
But like,
if you have the time to put in,
you know, I know people. I've actually talked with a long time ago. I had a buddy of mine on the podcast who recorded a lot of local metal bands in the early, like, you know, like 2000, like 7, 8, 9, 10, that era, you know, the post-hardcore revival, we'll call it, right? Yeah,
he was part of that.
He was in charge of recording a lot of those bands locally, and he was really, really good at what he did. But the problem was like he was taking, like, bands would come in, and after they would leave, he would like re-record their guitar parts for them, or doing like 100% triggers on the drums and quantizing everything and like really making it sound like perfect, because he was trying to establish himself as an engineer. So he didn't want his name on anything bad. So he was basically, but bands were coming to him because they knew that he did that. Yeah. And they wanted to sound good. Right, it wasn't so much like, I want to be a good musician. I just want good products so I could put this up on MySpace. You know what I mean? And that was a thing. And like, I remember like he came on my show, and this was in probably 2014. So well after the fact. And I was just like, do you feel guilty about what you did? And he was like, yeah, I kind of do. Yeah. Because like he moved on from that realm of things. But the funny thing is he did establish himself as somebody that's good at engineering. It worked. But it worked. Like, but it was like, you know, the end result is you had like so much of this bullshit where it's like, oh, you know, this band that is total dog shit is now doing like, you know, weekend runs with like This or the Apocalypse, or, you know, the early Devil Wears Prada, and like all those guys, right? And it's just like it's like, fuck, man, like it's cool, but how many of those bands lasted? Maybe not many of them, because it was all it was all fabricated.
That's
it's all right, buddy. You just see yourself out.
I mean, listen, okay. So,
but also at the same time, it's like it's a lot different if you're like
written speech.
when you're new and you're young. It's like, what? There's no playbook for what the right or wrong way to do things is.
And it doesn't sound like he was like taking him. It sounded like everyone was on board for what.
Yeah, they knew what was happening.
Oh, I mean, everybody was in their, you know, late teens, early 20s. There's no fucking rules when you're that age.
Yeah, no one gives a shit.
To be fair,
there's almost something kind of punk rock about duping the audience. Like, yeah, we're a lot worse than you think we are.
Gotcha, bitch.
I mean, as somebody who may or may not have been part of that scene in the late 2000s, I knew or may not have known a few bands that have done things with that certain engineer. And our band, at least thankfully at that time, had more of a ethos to be like, you know, we're not going to do that, because we knew so many people that like went to that guy and they'd be like, you know what, I'm going to play this song and it's going to sound like absolute shit. and he's going to charge me X amount of time for the studio space, and then I'm going to leave and go to like Eden Park and just like stuff myself full of omelets, and like he's going to take care of that shit, and he's going to make it sound really good, and then whenever we put this out on Tooth and Nail or whatever, it's going to sound really good. And it's just like, you know, like we lasted a few years, and then I kind of fell out with all that stuff. But in retrospect, that was the better decision, because I didn't want to like go on tour based off like the pretense, like, you know what, we're gonna. Sounds fucking tight. I couldn't do it. I couldn't put anything out like that. It just felt wrong to do something like that.
Yeah, I just don't. I guess, you know,
girl, you know it.
Being somebody that has like put in the time and the work, and you know how hard it is. If somebody offers you an easy solution, of course it's like, oh, that seems like a good idea.
Yeah. Sure.
Like, why are we putting so much time into getting this guitar solo perfectly when you could just record it clean with a DI and quantize everything and flub it through some distortion plugin, and it's going to sound great.
I received mixes yesterday, and from our and it had fucking Space Designer on the guitars. I was like,
gone.
I don't know. I really love just like experimenting with microphones and that kind of shit.
Mic placement and shit. Yeah.
If we didn't have a few microphones and stuff at this space,
here it is.
I would be totally into fucking DI, guitar, all of it.
Yeah. Well, no.
I wish I could afford a Kemper. I would love it. So I can't even get mad at it.
No, the technology for guitar simulation, guitar amp simulation stuff is it's leaps and bounds. Back, so
I wish I had the money for like a box or a Kemper. I think it would be a lot of fun, and we'd probably use it on every record.
Probably, yeah.
I guess I don't judge.
I mean, it depends on the style of music that you're doing, man. You know, whatever, like
when it sounds like shit, though.
You know, for like a lot of like
sounds just like shit. Whatever.
I don't know. Again, there's no right or wrong answer. You know what I mean? Like with Greywalker and the new stuff that we did, we were very much like, we still mic'd everything, mic'd guitars. I think we may have done some layered rhythm guitar tracks that were DI in. I wasn't there when we tracked them, but you know, my other project, Normal Creatures, which is like more of like an aggressive rap thing, we do everything DI, but it's because it's like there's so much synthesizer and stuff, it almost sounds better to record the DI, because
that corner.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's what I was getting at with like the ear test. Like I don't give a fuck what you record through or how you do it. Like I've heard recordings that I think like on a phone. Fuck it, I'm talking about a Will Away. Some of the recordings on their phone,
there it is.
They were better than when they put the record out. Like,
yeah. I mean, I've
do the ear test.
Yeah, I think that, you know, for my argument against or for DI guitars and bass, it really depends on what you're doing with your drums.
Yeah.
Sure.
If you're miking your drums and you have the room tone with the drums, you need the same room tone for the guitars, or it's going to sound fucking weird.
I mean, the continuity is everything on songs like that, especially when you are going for something. There's been times where, very, very few times, but we know exactly what we want out of something. And we're able to do that, but I don't know. Yeah, like it all comes down to the continuity.
Yeah.
And again, I feel like it translates well, like going back to what we were saying before, whether or not something's synthetic or organic, regardless of how you're recording it or how you go about everything. If something is meant to sound the way that you want it to sound, and you play it a certain way and you want it to be conveyed that certain way, regardless of however you use a DI or anything else, it's going. I mean, if you do it well, you do it well, and people are going to pick up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like all the Kanye records, but
we're back to this.
Back to Kanye. Oh my God! No.
Trying to fix this. Why won't this let me
look at you?
I want to eat you in that picture. I'm going to cook you up. I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Oh, go for it.
He can edit that.
Yeah.
No, you can put that in there.
Oh, we'll cut this. I'm probably gonna have to.
I don't think.
Sorry. Go through the kitchen. Turn right at the Anthrax poster.
Directions for life advice. Turn right at the Anthrax poster.
Yeah, I think we could probably wrap somewhat soon. I don't even know why I'm bothering making this camera look better. I'm just a fucking ding dong, dude. What's going on here? Hey. That's better. I don't know what's going on. You know what's really weird? This has nothing to do with this conversation, but what this camera is doing today, this camera was doing it last week. It kept shutting off.
Bad cable? Did you accidentally switch cables?
No, I didn't switch cables. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it's a power issue or maybe it's like a heat issue. The camera's overheating. I really don't know. I never used to have those issues before, though.
These are all LEDs.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be a heat issue.
I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm doing. I have all this shit. I plug it in. I hope it works. It's weird.
What do you, oh, never mind. So all your cameras run into the Zoom?
So right now, I'm actually trying something different this week because I had been using this for recording all of my audio. And it's kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. And I had this before, and I just like the way that this thing captures audio better. Like the file formats and everything are a lot easier. So, but this is just for recording audio. All the video goes to the camera, or it goes to directly to my computer. And I'm just running a line out into the program, so you can see the audio level there. So the video, whenever I drop everything into the video editing program. Yeah, this is the switcher for.
We gotta get next time we do a live video. We're gonna have Corbin trained on a switcher.
Leave Corbin alone.
All we do is we set up all of our phones and then edit them, separate files, and lining it up.
So
that is an absolute fucking
nightmare. Do you have Androids or iPhones?
I have an Android.
I have an iPhone.
Okay. Mac. Okay. Because I don't know about the iPhones, but there is a app for I don't even know if it's on Mac, but I've done it in the past with Android phones. There's an app called IV Cam, and it's free, and it basically lets you use your phone cam as a webcam. Wirelessly through Wi-Fi.
Okay.
And then you can make all those different sources into OBS, and you can literally control them like I am with this.
Shit.
And then you could do that.
That's like our issue. We were like, there was a couple times where we were thinking about doing live streams or like asked to do live streams, and it was just like, with just the three of us, all you're gonna get is like a mix that I don't even know, because it sounds good to me in the room, but I have a guitar amp next to my ear, so I have no clue what it actually sounds like.
Yeah.
I feel like
if
we were gonna do it, we'd have to have like a decent sub mix and like
you could
someone on a switcher.
Yeah, or you could flub it a bit and pre-record it, and then you could air it as live.
That's kind of what we did. We didn't try to like sell it as live, but that's essentially.
Yeah.
We didn't know what else to do. We wanted it to be quick. Why, I don't know. So like I did it like, in 24 hours, and then like watching it like a week later, like, what the fuck did I do? What is this mix? Why is nothing on your guitars wrong? So we ended up just redoing it and doing it.
The funny thing is that nobody noticed that.
Yeah, because nobody watched it. But
you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, using like the different cell phone cameras is an issue because of frame rate issues.
That's what you run into.
Yeah.
So essentially, I just used the iMovie, and I picked the one that best lined up perfectly, and then I just chopped it and dragged it where I needed to.
Perfect.
But yeah, it sucks.
You can only do so much. You can only get it so perfect.
Yeah. Well, let's see here. What can we wait, that's the wrong button. I don't even know. I'm like, this is how this stuff works. So I think that we've definitely hit our hour mark. We're way past the hour mark.
Okay.
Well over it.
I said nothing in an hour.
Oh, wow. Great job, guys.
Really but I think that, now at the end of this conversation would be a good opportunity for you guys to plug your EP.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't really do that very much at all.
Sorry.
Josh, I'm going to leave that's up to you because you know all the handles and shit.
Oh, it's just Salvage the Tongue.
Oh, why are you talking to me, dude? Talk to the people.
Look at the camera, Josh.
I don't know which one.
We spent
that
3
one?
years slowly recording an EP, and we finally put it out. It's everywhere.
It is everywhere.
Let them know. Let them know.
Spotify, Apple
Let them know.
Music.
Let them know.
I need chicken wings.
Yeah, it's Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff.
If you really want to, it's like $4.
Yeah.
5 songs.
Yeah. It's less than.
We worked.
We got new shit coming out.
Yeah, we're writing.
You hate it, you'll love the new stuff.
The
EP is called Waterlong. It's been about 4 to 5 years in the making, like we said. We got it done. It's a very emotional EP. It has something that I talk about a lot when I'm talking to people about it. Is I mean every word that I write. Everything that's in there has a lot of feeling to it, and I feel that you can feel it when I'm singing it and when I'm writing about it and singing about the things that happen in my life. So I mean that's pretty much what the whole EP is about, is this 5-year span where I've gone through a lot of crazy life-changing experiences that you can take for your own, and that's something that people ask me, like my brother had conversations with me, my girlfriend, like, what are these songs about? And like, I could tell you what the song's about. That's cool. But the cool thing about music is you can listen to that song and you can hear those lyrics and you can think, whatever you want. Like, you can get your own feeling, your own meaning, your own motivation from that song. And I even find that in music that I listen to now, where like, I know a song's not about this, but I can relate it to something that, makes me feel a certain way, whether it's good, bad, or whatever. So like, when I get those questions about like, what's track 3 about? What's this about? Why'd you write that? And it's like, I'll tell you, but I would much rather you listen to the music and take it for your own and get your own meaning from it. And, it means something to you, just like it means something to me. And all the songs on it mean a ton to me. They're all very personal. And that's something that I always put into my music. So yeah, 5-track EP, Waterlong, came out about a month and a half ago, and we're very, very proud of it. Definitely the best thing that we've put out, that we've been the most proud of. So I'm happy to share it with everyone.
Awesome, man. Salvage the Tongue. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thanks for
to
having
come
us.
Talk with a stranger.
Absolutely.
About
had a great time.
Being old.
Yeah, that's basically what it's about. Aging in music.
And the fun thing is, the next time we see each other, we're all going to be even older.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Can't wait to have my Metamucil with me that time.
Yeah, he might have 2 cats. Look out.
But, hey, hopefully live music will return in some capacity, and maybe, we can hang out and do a show or something together sometime.
Great. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I really don't care who I play with anymore, as long as I'm around people that I enjoy.
Absolutely.
And in a demographic or in a music economy where the people that are going to be at the show, 80% of the attendance is the other people in the bands, I want to make sure I'm playing with cool bands.
Yeah. Fair. Very fair.
So that's the move. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's my hack for local bands. Stop trying to get people that aren't in bands to come to shows, and just become friends with cool people. So at least you'll enjoy being at the shows.
They have to be there.
Yeah. There you go.
They have to be there.
There you go.
That's the hack. So with all that being said, that is all, folks. Thanks so much for being here. I'll be back again next week with another episode and a different group of assholes. Same time, same place, same channel. You know the drill. My name is Sykes. Start the beat. 2021. Woo, woo. Thanks for listening. We did it. That's a podcast, my friends.
Right on. Hell yeah.
Goodbye.